So this is part two of my son is being falsely accused or wrongfully accused of assault. And so I know everyone is wondering, how did my son get into this woman's car? I have only what my son has said because there's no valid witness or no video evidence showing otherwise. But my son said that the car was sitting in the street running with the keys in it and the door was open. He said a man was walking away from the car when he had the brilliant idea to get in and go to school. We were very, very disappointed to hear my son say this because he wasn't raised that way at all. And we've been dealing with him taking things that didn't belong to him for about a year, year and a half. He'd taken my car, he'd taken his sister's car, he'd used his dad's car to purchase Uber Eats. So we were just sick of it, and we had no idea how it was going to end or how he was going to be convinced to stop it. And so I look at this as God's work. I really feel gratitude every day because when I think about this situation, I'm so thankful that the owner of that car was not dead. And I'm very thankful that the owner of the car is a terrible liar because I can deal with that. And so when I look at my son's character, he's not violent. He's never been accused of violence. He has no violent history. He has no criminal record at all. He's not gang affiliated. He's the type of kid who literally will climb a tree to meditate. He's different, but not dangerous different. When I look at who he will be after this experience, I know that God has done a great work in my kid, and I'm so thankful for that. At the same time, I want to present to you evidence because that is the most important thing when someone is accused of a criminal offense. And so my son is seen at 8:04 crossing in front of our neighbor's Ring camera, and he's seen at 8:12 pulling into the apartments 2.2 miles away, which is also a 5-minute drive. He literally has 8 minutes to get from being on camera to being at those apartments. And we spoke with the apartment manager. The timestamp on those apartments, on the camera equipment for them, is correct. My son took that walk from that corner and took that ride to those apartments within 8 minutes. There's literally no time for him to be anywhere in her house to do anything to her. The time just isn't there. He cannot be two places at once. After Thanksgiving. And so, to your knowledge, the camera, the timestamp on the camera is correct. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
what was that?
You got 5 minutes. Supposed to be meditating.
My son's accuser knows that the person who had her car that morning left it unattended. Her purse was even inside the car. It's hanging across the passenger side where her bank cards were at. She doesn't report that her car is missing until almost an hour after my son is seen driving into the apartments 2.2 miles away. But yet she claims that the person was in her house until after 9 o'clock. The Cash App transaction and the video evidence prove that is impossible.
Leon enters apartments at 2980 Jonesboro RD at 8:12 a.m. September 13, 22. Accuser then goes on to say the transaction started at 9:20 a.m. But the screenshot of Leon's Cash App says otherwise.
Two transactions. Where's the address at on Jonesboro Road? 1885 Jonesboro Road, Southeast. What time did they say? What time it was on Jonesboro Road at all? The first one is so only they all start off at 9:20 a.m. 9:20 a.m. The square.
What time you see her run out of the house?
This is like 9:05, somewhere around there. The only reason why I realized that we just checked on my phone.
Finally, there is no proof my son ever entered her house that day or any other day. There is no fingerprints, no footprints, no hair, no valid witness, and most importantly, no DNA. The trace male DNA that they did detect was so minuscule and minute, they couldn't even test it. And it could have been from her interaction with her fiance, who she admitted to being with the day before. And so, again, with no evidence in a criminal case and no proof, the allegations are unfounded. I will post the DNA results here now.